Hey everyone, this is DC Howard, founder and principal coach of Wayineers, where it's our goal that you reach your destination of success by letting us help you calculate your route. And we're back yet again for Tactic Thursday. Tactic Thursday is where we discuss an issue or matter that you may be dealing with personally, professionally, or relationally, and how to overcome that matter. And so today we are on part 3 of our 4-part mini-series, I Need Help. And once again, the goal of I Need Help is to simply realize, number one, we're all human beings. And then, of course, because we're human beings, that means that we are imperfect. And because we are imperfect, that means that ultimately there are times or situations where point blank, we need help. But we have 4 indicators on how in which we can realize that we need help when it comes to our personal lives, professional lives, and relationship lives. And so on our first week, we talked about how triggers are a key indicator of us being able to realize whether or not that we need help. And that we may understand that there are triggers that come from our personal lives, as well as our professional lives, as well as our relationship lives, that we need to be mindful of in order to understand that we need help. On last week, we talked about our attitudes being a key indicator on the fact that we need help. And the fact that if our attitudes have been changing or shifting, and of course not to extremes, but just off of our norm in our personal, professional, or relational lives, that also is a key indicator of the fact that we need help. And so today we're going to talk about a simple thought or philosophy, and it's actually even not a philosophy, it's actually a doctrine, which is history. Our history is a key indicator on the fact of the matter that potentially we need help. And so, as I often do, the antidote for today is that a philosopher, George Santa Anna, said the simple phrase that those that cannot remember their past are doomed to repeat it. Those that cannot remember their past are doomed to repeat it. And of course, the past is our actual history. And me being a history major from the Florida State University, history is something that I have a very big keen for, I have a very big passion for, and so it's something that I study and examine all the time. When it comes to cultural history, when it comes to history of a particular area, history of a particular concept or things of that sort, history is very, very important to me. But one of the things I've learned when it comes to history is that you oftentimes have to do the following. When it comes to history, is that you have to find what was the root event or the root activity that ultimately caused for whatever were the events that took place. What were the various sides of a particular matter? Because history is often written by the winners or by the individuals that are able to last after the fact. And then in addition to that, what is the impact of that history when it comes down to common day situations? And so like a perfect example for those that are across the world is that we had, in which we hope that we don't have anymore, but we've had 2 world wars in the past century, in the 20th century. We had World War I and we had World War II. And so one of the rationales behind why we had World War I is that you had, I believe it was Archbishop Ferdinand. I can't remember the specific area, whether it was Belgium or Turkey. Sorry, guys, for those that are history buffs, feel free to correct me. But nevertheless, is the fact of the matter that they were getting invaded by, I believe it was Germany at the time, in which because of that invasion, that caused issues across not only the European area, but also it was an issue from the Asiatic area when it comes to Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, things of that sort. And so therefore, various countries banded together on 2 different sides in order to ultimately have World War I. The United States of America, which I am a U.S. citizen, ultimately joined around 1917 of sorts, and with their help as well as the help of a unified allied force, is that they were able to actually defeat the forces that banded together in World War I. Well, the positive side of that we often get is the fact that on November 11th, 1918, which is the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, we celebrate Veterans Day. here in the United States. Not exactly sure if it's celebrated across the world, but it's something that we celebrate those that have been willing to serve in the armed forces in order to better the lives of those everywhere. Well, that's our version of the history. When it comes down to if you visit the German individuals and their history of World War I, is the fact of the matter is that World War I decimated their economy, put them in very, very dire economic straits, and ultimately led to what was known as the National Socialist Party, which for them, the way they spelled it was Nazi, which ultimately became the Nazi Party, which, as you have studied in your respective history books, that particular party invaded Poland back in 1939, which ultimately led to World War II. Sorry for the history lesson. You're asking, okay, why do I need to know World War I and II when it comes to my own self-betterment? Well, the rationale of why you need to know it is the fact of the matter of this. Now, giving a personal anecdote is that I dealt with an event that happened when I was 8 years old, where something was told of me that really changed how I viewed individuals in my relationship life. And because of that statement, for about a solid decade, I struggled and I wrestled with that particular one event, not realizing until that decade later, looking at the root cause of that event, looking at the sides to that event, and then looking at what was the significance to this common day, that event actually, while it was significant, ultimately didn't have to be as significant as it was in that moment. What areas of your personal life are you holding on to as to be solid truth when the reality is they're just simple facts? And the fact of the matter is it happened, but it doesn't determine who you are. It doesn't determine who you will be, and it doesn't determine who you were in that moment. Look at that scenario from all of its sides. Don't allow yourself to be stuck with only looking at it from your side. Going back to that same example of me personally, is I had to realize that other family member was dealing with a long day, was dealing with a very long situation at the time when it came to finances and resources, as well as also had other issues in their life that they were also navigating through in this moment when it comes to me. And so what areas of your life are you allowing your history to now be an indicator, because you haven't been able to get past it, that you know what? I need help. When it comes down to your professional life, whether it be the indicator of a job or a company or an organization that you dealt with before and that you had a negative experience with them, whether it be literally your friend or another colleague referencing their history with this other colleague, with this business, with this organization, with this boss, don't allow history, and especially someone else's history, to determine your capacity when it comes to your professional life. You should allow yourself to have the freedom, we talked about freedom in another Tactic Thursday, to be able to enjoy an experience with a colleague, with a boss, with a client, with a customer, on your own, outside of the history that you have, whether it be yourself or whether it be someone else. And so are you allowing your history to mess up your professional life? That's a key indicator that potentially you may need help. When it comes down to your relationship life, are you allowing an event that happened in this current relationship, or if we're talking about a significant other or spouse, something that happened in a previous relationship? And I'm guilty of this too, having to navigate through this. Are you allowing that to potentially be something that is causing major divides or issues in your current relationship with your significant other or a spouse or a loved one or a friend? The reality is, yes, these things happen, and it's not necessarily that you have to forget them, because once again, the statement is those that cannot remember their past are doomed to repeat it. But don't allow your history to become your present and your future. And so allow yourself to realize, if my history is really dominating the rhetoric around this relationship, maybe that is an indicator that I need help. So once again, the quote simply is, those that cannot remember their past are doomed to repeat it. But are you the individual that not only are you remembering it, but you're living there? Allow yourself not to live there so that you can truly experience and embrace your present. And ultimately, by embracing and experiencing your present, you'll be able to truly love your future. I hope this video has been of great benefit to you. Another great way of how you're able to overcome your history is to book a session with us. You can book a session with us by going to our website, www.wayineers, that's W-A-Y-I-N, 2 E's, rs.com, going to our book a session area where you'll be able to see that we offer sessions in life coaching, career coaching, relationship coaching, or consulting in any of those areas. I am a certified professional life coach through the Life Coach Institute of Orange County, so you know that you're working with a phenomenal professional, and our sessions are only $25. We made sure to make it very, very affordable for you in this particular era of Wayineers so that you're able to get the best success. The best investment is with yourself. And so also, of course, you're looking at this on our YouTube channel. Feel free to check out our other videos here about Tactic Thursday. And once again, you can make sure that you're able to check these out every Thursday by subscribing. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button. That's 100% free. You have great access to all of our content. Also click on that turn notifications bell on so that every Thursday, the exact moment when we drop a Tactic Thursday, you'll be in the know. Also, please to make sure you hit a thumbs up on this video as well as our other videos here on our YouTube channel to support us, as well as comment. And specifically for this video, comment below on how your history in your personal, professional, or relationship life has potentially been a blocker for you, and now you're realizing that you need help overcoming that history. Comment below. I want to definitely hear about your particular stories and be able to also offer any advice that I may have in that particular area. Also, feel free to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and on Instagram. Our handle is, once again, Wayineers. Well, I hope this has been, once again, of great benefit to you. Definitely look forward to joining us in our final installment of the I Need Help series. And once again, we here at Wayineers want to make sure that you reach your destination of success by letting us help you calculate your route. We look forward to seeing and speaking with you soon.